What's up? What's up?
What it do, Bean Crew? It's your boy Savon Thomas back with another episode of Coffee and Comments. And today we're going to review the TV series, I guess documentary series called Men in the Arena. It's actually on ESPN Plus, and it details the career of Tom Brady. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. I forget his name. Skip Bayless always says his full name.
Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
Whenever he tweets out stuff about Tom Brady. So that's why I like saying it. But if you guys don't know who Tom Brady is, he is regarded as the greatest quarterback of all time. My personal goal is Peyton Manning. I'm a Colts fan. That's why. But Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. Tom Brady literally owns every statistical category, QB category, except for most wins, and he has the most championships as well. So it's kind of a moot point if we're going to talk about like best quarterback, because he's thrown for the most yards, thrown for the most touchdowns, and his teams always win, and he always wins championships. So like you can say it's not him. Maybe he has good teams around him, and that may be true. Don't get me wrong, but if the guy owns all the stats, then he probably is pretty good. But anyway, that's just my little rant about, people that don't think Tom's the greatest. Even though, again, I personally think Peyton Manning's the greatest, but that's just a personal bias because I'm a Colts fan. The documentary series is really good. Like, I really enjoyed this. It's not as good as the Jordan series that came out about 2 years ago in the middle of the pandemic. That was fantastic. But it was really good. Like, each one of the episodes, I mean, it's an hour long. They could each be their own movie. Like, my favorite, though, was the story of the Giants, the first championship that they won versus the Patriots, and you have Michael Strahan talking as well. It was interesting to see the dynamics of both teams, because for me growing up, like my NFL fandom started in 2004. So I'm 29 years old, born 1992, and really when I was 12 years old, that's when I got like into sports, like in depth into sports. Like that's when I became an OU fan, became a Colts fan. And I have memories of watching those games from back then. And I remember watching the 07 season, but I never followed it to the tune that I do now, where I know certain things about different teams and stuff like that. So I remember that the Giants team wasn't good back in 2007, but I didn't realize, different things about them. And so the biggest thing I loved about this was them giving perspective from in the arena, in the locker room, on the teams, right? Because we watch the games and we set expectations of certain teams to win, certain teams to lose, and we're like, okay, this team should be good because of X, Y, Z. And it's just really cool to see like how much where things were at, like just the inner turmoil, different things going on within the team, how much Brady had to trust himself, and things going on that I had no clue about, like his mom dying. I know that was probably a big talk in the during the time, but I just don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember some of these things they talked about. So for me watching the show, it was really good. Like I was like, there's some interesting points. I mean, it's a very dynamic show. Tom Brady is a great leader, first of all. You can see that through and through when he talks on the screen about leadership, that he is a fantastic leader and he leads himself well, therefore he can lead men well. Right? And it's I don't want to call it a masterclass in leadership, but he talks a lot about leadership and how to lead people, but also how to lead himself. And it's like the little clips that he talks, it's just great. But then you add in the dynamic of his family, his friends, them talking about Tom from their perspective and what they've seen. It was just really cool. It humanized Tom Brady, because most people, Tom Brady's a robot. He's an alien person. He doesn't seem real. But when you see this documentary, first of all, the dude cusses like a sailor, cusses all the time. But it just humanizes him. His wife speaks, his family speaks. They talk about him meeting his wife, him having kids. They talk about his sisters. His trainer. Everything in his life is kind of you see behind the hood of the Patriots, everything going on, and it's just so cool to see. Like you get to experience the journey. And even though I know the outcomes of every single Super Bowl and what's going on, it still feels like, it's just cool. Like, even though you know what's going to happen with each Super Bowl, it's so cool to see the journey that led to that Super Bowl, right? And then the people talking about it, from the team that won, team that lost, it's really good. So I implore you to watch it. I gave this 8.6 out of 10. The entire series. I'm not going to do each episode review. That's too much. 10 different or 9 different episodes. That would be too much. So it's a good series. 9 different episodes. Really good. It's on ESPN Plus if you can check it out there. But mainly Arena Tom Brady, 8.6 out of 10. That's my review. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Coffee and Comments.